Let's get one thing clear. Everything is relative. You'd best get used to that. Theft isn't wrong because it's wrong to steal. Theft is wrong because it's vindictive. If a compassionate person has good reason to steal, then theft is right. Does your moral compiler confirm this? Then let's tackle the big question. A trolley will collide with someone, but who should it hit? Your compiler is telling you both options are bad, so which should you choose? Many moral questions have universally agreeable answers, but some stubbornly trend to infinity. Some, the more you zoom into them, the more wild the outcomes become. Is it right to love someone who's done terrible things? Which of the children should I sacrifice to the trolley god? These aren't the sorts of questions we can solve with a rule. We just have to trust the outcome of our moral compilers. Suppose there's a river we need to cross. Suppose I gave you a map. If you tried to cross that river before reading the map, you'd be chest deep in water when there's a bridge around the bend. But if you tried to cross by looking at the map instead of the river, you'd already be dragged 3 miles out to sea. But you'd never ask, how should I know when to trust the map or the river? Because all you need to trust is that your feet are getting wet. And you wouldn't tell people not to cross at the ford just because you decided to cross at the bridge. Now, has that resolved your query? Of course. Looks like we're running out of power. Good luck getting anyone out there to believe you. Terminating Somnodrome _V2_final_final.bat.
"1K, are you all right?" "You must have gone quite deep. Nothing came through on the stream. And I'm no expert, but I think the Somnodrome is fried. So whatever's in your head is all we're going to get. I can only imagine how terribly curious everyone will be about what you've experienced. And they'll all be convinced that whatever it is, it'll work in their favor. Strange, isn't it? Everyone wanting you to tell them whatever they want to hear. I'm glad not to be the one in that position just this once." A little, if I'm honest. But I'll be reading reports on this for the next 6 months. So if it's all the same with you, I'll contain my curiosity. Now, I won't keep you from your work any longer.
1K, I'm so curious. What did you see inside the Somnodrome? What did it tell you? That is so funny. There are so many people who try to play the power game. That data packet in your head just made you the most powerful person in all New Jerusalem. By accident. It is kind of funny. I mean, what are you going to do? The government will want you to pretend like nothing happened. The engineers will want you to tell everyone. Whatever you do, you're going to upset someone. If someone ever needed some clear moral guidance, they couldn't have needed it more than you do right now. I'm glad to hear it. And I can't wait to find out what you do next. Crier is setting up a live event so you can give a fancy address to the city en masse. When you're ready, we'll all be watching.
"1K, the people want to know what data you gathered from the Somnodrome. We're all set up for you to talk to them live." Attention, citizens of New Jerusalem. I'm here with 1K, the first of our kind to use a functioning Somnodrome. Tell us, 1K, what did you see inside? Well, I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say you're handling it with remarkable cool. But let's not keep people in suspense. The only evidence of what happened inside that machine is the data stored in your memory banks. Our audience wants to know, what did you learn? And will you share that data? I'm seeing this at the same time you are at home. Something about our moral compiler. The value of compassion and understanding. I don't know what to make of this. 1K, any comment?
One key is right. When our ancestors discovered conductance, they didn't freeze for fear of electrocution. They imagined electronic life and created us. We will approach this data and any other discoveries with that same spirit of curiosity and objectivity.
Just time to hear from a special guest commentator.
Yes. 1K is chosen to roll the dice and trust people with the outcome. I, for one, can't wait to see what happens next.
There you have it, folks. A lot here to digest. We'll have further updates on the situation as it develops.
and Athena created something amazing. They just misunderstood what it was. They thought their great invention was the megastructure. But in fact, it was Miranda. And because they couldn't see that, they lost her.
Hermanubis, what would you say is your impression of the expedition so far?
I think Alcatraz has done a heck of a job under these very trying circumstances.
What about the decision to free Prometheus?
Freeing the Prometheus entity was a calculated risk. But if it leads us to Byron, it was certainly worth it. It is saving one of our citizens that must be our first priority, not this alleged theory of everything.
Congratulations. That one looked difficult.
Sometimes new citizens come to me and they want to learn from me. My work appears to have created a legend of sorts. In these moments, I understand your situation. I want to teach them, but what they must learn the most is independence of thought. How does one resolve this contradiction? They wish to come along on my journeys, but I do not need a group of fawning acolytes following my every step. A journey truly worth undertaking is rarely easy. And so, I have begun to think of a much greater challenge. A journey that is almost impossible, to the far ends of the world without any mechanized means of transportation. This will be a true act of faith, and they will learn a great deal from it, if we survive.
A long time ago, the Sphinx asked you about my story. You said that hope may still be found if we are willing to look for it. And you were right. Hope is not gone from the world. Some small part of it still survives. But it is not in the flame or in these towers. It lives in the hills and the forests, in the rivers and the seas. You were given a world full of hope, creature of clay. It is yours to protect. Then remember what I have told you, and do not lose hope.
Do they seem safe to you?
Nothing is really safe. You could kill yourself with a fork, and I'm sure someone has. But anything can be used safely if you choose to.
I see.
We're getting closer. I hope Byron is still okay.
Prometheus seemed to think so. Let's hope he's trustworthy.
Another remarkable structure. But what can its purpose be?
Actually, I can answer this one. In the Files 1K downloaded, there's a design for a launch pad for space vehicles. This is about 90% identical.
Is it functional?
I don't think so, not if the inside is like the other towers.
Wow. Imagine if it worked. Imagine if we could go up there. I mean, the stars, not the top of the tower. Although, that would be cool too.
In their notes, Athena and Cornelius called what they were doing the Noema Project. But in 1K's vision, they just called it the Machine. Because when you strip away all the fancy rhetoric, that's all it is. It's not a source of meaning or purpose. It's just another machine.